So Joshua Weissman just dropped a video today to find the best taco in the world. And where did he come but, of course, Mexico City. Let's jump in to see if Josh knows what he's talking about. And since the man knows a lot about food, I'm sure he probably does. Hey, it's Sarah. I've lived in Mexico for 10 years, and I'm your guide to authentic experience right here in Mexico City. Make sure you grab my Explore Mexico City cheat sheet down below this video. All right, so Joshua Weissman came to Mexico City and tried to find the best taco on earth, and I think he came to the right place. So let's check out the different tacos that Joshua tried. I want to tell you a little bit more about them, and I want to tell you my commentary on his feedback. So we're going to take this clip by clip. I'm going to try to cut out where I'm jumping in between things, but I just wanted to say at the very beginning, I love the way he starts here. Let's just check this out.
Tacos are one of the greatest foods on planet Earth, but there's only one place you can go to that has almost every taco to ever exist: Mexico City.
Yeah, totally agree. Mexico City has the best tacos in the world. If you want to see my personal review of some Mexico City street food, check out this video up in the cards. Remember, I've been here for 10 years, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Mexico City. And what I love is that Josh got a guide to take him along to the best spots. One of the first spots he is at is actually a restaurant that's the locals clearly go to. This is not a video about the hot spots where all the American tourists like to go and all of these like overpriced, super expensive places. That is not it at all. Josh is going where the locals like to go, and that's how you know that he got really good guidance. And the expert that he talked to in this video clearly knows what she's talking about. She knows far more than I do. So one of the first things he tries is tacos de guisado, and I want to just take you to show you a little clip of what he's trying here. So the thing with tacos de guisado, let's talk about the three that he's looking at. He does go into depth explaining these, but since we have them on the screen here, I'll just show you. All the way on the right-hand side, that's your refried beans with eggs. That looks really, really dry to me. He didn't really like it, and I don't blame him. I mean, he didn't hate it, but doesn't look like the most flavorful thing in the world. The one in the middle, chicharrón, that's pork skin, but it's soft in a salsa roja. That's a red sauce. And then the one in the back is pork within a green salsa. I bet you I would like the green salsa one best, but these look pretty good. The tortillas do look a little bit dry, but that is why you have most of the breakfast tacos. Most of these things are really juicy, so it doesn't really matter if the tortilla is super dry for this kind of taco. He goes into some street food coming up here. That's not what I would call tacos. However, it is really, really good Mexico City street food. So let's just check it out. First of all, what we're looking at here is a very traditional pop-up stand. You're going to find them all over the sidewalks in Mexico City, and you should not be afraid to try one of these. Please don't be scared. I know, like, as Americans, sometimes we think, oh, I can't go eat there, I'm going to get sick. Look, pack some Pepto pills in your purse or your wallet. Go try these places. They're so stinking good. And this is how you're really supporting the local economy. If you want to truly support the locals, you got to go to these little food stands and do these and try these. So let's check out what Josh has here. What he's about to eat, at least a couple of these things are not technically tacos, but you still got to try them.
Anna and her family has been here 35 years. All these kind of business are family business. Here. So she will come twice per week.
Tortillas by hand, that is super, like that. That's super like Mexican grandma, like wow. And the blue corn tortilla is like so good. Well, if you don't like corn tortillas, if you're like, oh, corn tortillas gross, because you're used to getting them in a package from the grocery store, no. There's nothing. Even the worst tortilla in Mexico City is better than that, okay? But these look really, really good. And Josh even comments on how they're so soft, because they're fresh and they like fry them up in front of you, and they're
her sister-in-law will come other 2 days of the week, so all the family have the profit.
And let's just take another
business. So they will bring this fresh dough from blue corn.
There you go.
The gordita.
This is a gordita. Again, check out my video up in the cards to see my personal review of the gordita and the next couple of things she's going to talk about. The gordita is not a taco, but it's so stinking good. So it's kind of thick and fat, and the gordita means a little fatty. It's always stuffed with things, and it's super, super good because it's always got delicious stuffing inside.
The circle, the round one, and then
this is the tlacoyo. The tlacoyo is always kind of shaped like an eyeball or like an oval. Stuffed inside of that is usually refried beans. Sometimes you've got refried lima beans inside, and then they'll put stuff on top for you. Josh is going to get some nopales, which is cactus.
The tlacoyo, that is the triangle
Very,
one,
very
and the quesadilla. We eat
famous.
quesadillas without cheese. When you say quesadilla,
Yeah, and that's something really important to know too. Quesadilla, if you want a quesadilla in Mexico City, it does not automatically come with cheese. You have to ask for it, and that's just with, they'll usually call that queso Oaxaca, Oaxacan cheese. In Oaxaca State, they'll call it quesillo, but in the rest of the country, they call it queso Oaxaca. It's super good. It's comparable to mozzarella. Mexicans in the comments, don't come at me. I know it's not mozzarella, but I'm trying to compare it to something, that we know in the United States. And what you're looking at is the flor de calabaza. That is squash flower. It's not bad. It's not my favorite. To me, it's just like not a whole lot of flavor to that, but it is very light if you want something like less greasy. Another thing with the quesadilla, let's see here.
it implies cheese, but no, shape will give the name.
The shape gives the name. She said, look, if it's folded, it's a quesadilla. She's right. Quesadillas, though, can also be deep fried. Those kind of quesadillas fritas, they kind of look like empanadas. Completely different thing, but it looks like that. Like it's completely closed up and they'll deep fry it too. This one, of course, you can't deep fry this. All the stuff would come out of it, but there are fried quesadillas as well. So let's pop ahead to some other things. But yeah, he really did like those. But like I said, those aren't technically tacos, but they're good. Josh also goes into, these are tacos de guisado. So the taco de guisado guisado just means like a cooked dish. And there's an endless array of guisados, and they usually have a little bit more sauce to them. He gets one here with chile relleno. That is a stuffed poblano pepper with cheese. Sometimes the outside of that has a layer of like meringue whipped up and fried, and sometimes it does not, but it really doesn't matter. It's good both ways. So here's explaining.
I can see why. 8 out of 10.
One of the classics that we have is the chile relleno. Here they use a special
So that's the kind of cheese they put inside your poblano pepper.
They will deep fry it with egg, and
you can get that in a taco or not. You can get anything you want in a taco, basically. This is tinga. Tinga is, I like to explain it as like a pulled chicken. It's like 50-50 chicken and onions, and then the sauce that it's cooked in is like a tomato-based sauce. It's not super spicy. And of course, you've got guacamole and some other kind of cheese on top. Usually they call that queso fresco, or sometimes they'll say queso rallado, like shredded cheese. And notice what we're looking at is the double tortilla. The double tortilla is very important. It's standard when you get tacos, and that's because usually one tortilla breaks because it's so full of goodness, and so you need the two. These are extremely filling foods. So we're going to jump ahead to see carnitas. There's different types of carnitas. So you see how it says, he said costilla, that's your rib. So when you get carnitas in Mexico, you're not only going to get carnitas, they're going to say, what kind of carnitas do you want? So let me just show you an example. You have to tell them what kind of meat you want, because they make the whole pig, basically. And the one I like is called maciza. Here's some pictures of the different kinds of meat. And of course, you've got your salsa and stuff on top. Maciza is more the kind of meat that we're used to in the United States. It's more the traditional, like, really meaty. The maciza is the one that we're really used to. Sortida means mixed. Okay, I cannot find it. So let's just play here.
But then right immediately after that, you get the crunch from the crispy pork.
He also got campechano. Campechano is kind of like your loaded big boy taco. If you ever see that word,
it's kind of like everything you want in one.
It's a
spicy,
big boy.
acidic.
Tortilla is going to be your leaner meat, but also mixed with some more of that, a little bit of pork skin, maybe a little bit of the connective tissues. Mexicans really like that. It adds a lot of flavor. I hate the texture of that. I'm not knocking the flavor, but the texture's not for me. If you don't like that little chewy texture, you might want to go with maciza. But if you do want that extra flavor, go for the sortida. This is birria. Birria is like a slow cooked beef, and it has that. They usually serve it with the what's that called? Sorry, the broth that they cook the beef in, and you can like dip your taco in. Oh. Sometimes they'll also serve it with cheese, but not like on top, like they do at Taco Bell. Are we even allowed to mention Taco Bell here? I mean, come on. It's called a costra. Costra means scab. And so what they'll do is they'll take that cheese and they'll cook it a little bit to get it crispy, and it goes kind of underneath the meat. This is cochinita pibil. Cochinita pibil is like okay, again, Mexicans, don't come at me in the comments, all right? But this is the Americanized explanation. That is like a slow-cooked Mexican version of a barbecue pork. The flavor is a little bit more complex, more different spices, of course, but that's the idea. It's soft, it's flavorful, and then on top you've got your pickled red onions. This is from the Yucatan Peninsula. This is super good, super good, loaded with flavor. So definitely, I love that. He does the flauta de cordero. Flauta means flute. It's like your taquitos. It's rolled up, fried. Sometimes they call it tacos dorados, golden tacos. I would argue the flauta is not really a taco. I mean, it is, but it isn't. The taco, when I think taco, I mean, you've got your folded over or flat tortilla with stuff, but this is a tortilla with stuff. It's just fried. And then cordero is lamb. That is not something you see all the time hanging out everywhere in Mexico City, but looking pretty good, super delicious. We can't go to Mexico without talking about huitlacoche.
It's a natural fungus that grows outside of the corn.
Huitlacoche is kind of like, it almost looks like almost like a blue mushroom kind of thing. The flavor, I would describe it as earthy, much like you would a mushroom. It is not my favorite thing in the world, but if you want to try some very traditional Mexican flavors, come do it. I don't hate huitlacoche, I just don't love it. I mean, I like meat, so, I want meat. Spanish, by the way, he talks a lot about how he's really bad at Spanish. Josh, if you want Spanish classes, hit us up. We'll teach you Spanish. This is tacos de canasta. That means tacos of basket tacos.
Of the area of Roma.
You're about to see why. So you see why it's called basket tacos. They are sold in a basket. They're always sold outside on some street corner. Do not be afraid. Try them. They are always small. They are the cheapest kind of tacos you can find. They're usually kind of moist. They're not super dry. And inside, I would love to show you what's inside, because Josh gets some with some very traditional, very typical filling.
Around 400 tacos. So this is beans, chicharrón, and potatoes. Salt.
Every single one of those is delicious. And this salsa, So salsa tip, if you're going to try salsa in Mexico, just put a little bit on your plate and then stick it in your finger, a little bit on your finger, and try it. That's how even Mexicans do it. You never can tell how spicy the salsa is going to be. Because it's different from place to place. So yeah, tacos de canasta, those look really, really good. Especially if you get some that are very well seasoned, and these look like they were very well seasoned. So another good, really, really good one. And these places are like, you got to stand up and eat your tacos. You're not getting a place to sit down. You're standing on the sidewalk, you're eating your taco, just like he is. And it's very traditional. I like to sit and eat, but man, these tacos might be worth it because they look really good.
Taquito is very
Tacos al pastor is
the
my
taco
favorite.
is going to be rolled, it's not going to be open. And they have these amazing onions that is cooking in.
So look at this spit. Underneath the meat, you can see it looks like he has an onion there. Usually on the top, there's a pineapple, but maybe this taquero, this taco guy, has used all the pineapple. That's and I usually don't see tacos al pastor rolled, but maybe in this particular place, that's how they do it. That's traditional for them. He does have tacos al pastor a little bit ahead, and I have to say that tacos al pastor for me is the best taco. The gringa is really close to the al pastor. So here, I wanted to show you this too. See at the top, this guy's about to cut off, let's see if you can see it, some pineapple from the top.
Pastor taco.
There you go, see? He's cutting the pineapple off the top. The combination of the pastor meat with the pineapple, with those onions that they have sauteing in that pork fat, oh my goodness. And you put your lime juice up, a little salt, cilantro. If they say con todo, it's usually cilantro and onions, at least on, pineapple, cilantro, and onions on your tacos al pastor. You can ask for it without any of those things, but why would you? And then I like to put on a little green salsa. The thing with pastor is that, as you can see, this pork meat is, it's red because it's got all these different flavoring seasonings. It's like achiote on it. It's very, very flavorful. It's even marinated in pineapple juice and all that stuff. So it's very flavorful. Yes, it spins on that spit and cooks, but please be careful. Just make sure when you get tacos al pastor that it looks like it's a hopping place and that they're really moving the meat. Some places will leave the meat on the spit for more than one day and not refrigerate it. This place looks legit, but some places will do that. If you are concerned, after taking all proper precautions, I would also ask for it a la plancha, which means they'll slice off your meat and then they'll kind of give it another little grill up to kind of cook it a little bit more. And he's going to try another thing that is, to me, it even tops the tacos al pastor.
Here to try the best gringa. So gringa is torture.
This is the gringa. So it's basically the same thing as the taco al pastor, but instead of the corn tortilla, it's a flour tortilla. It's usually a double tortilla. So you got your bottom one and then your filling and then your top one. And it has cheese. Oh, the gringa. I love gringas. And it's funny because I'm a gringa. So Josh goes on to talk about how the next day he finally did get barbacoa tacos, and it looks like he got really authentic tacos. So let's get him. He was really excited, and that was his favorite one. So let's check out his favorite taco.
In the morning, we made it all for this.
Look at this. This is
Lamb
very authentic.
Slow cooked underground,
Yes.
wrapped artfully in only the finest agave leaves, placed upon a beautiful hand ground blue.
So this is his favorite taco, and with good reason. I mean, they really work very carefully on this meat. So barbacoa is really delicious. My personal favorites are still the gringo and the taco al pastor, but Josh did a really good job. I think he had an excellent taco tour. Some of the things I wouldn't exactly call tacos, but definitely quintessential Mexico City foods. If you want to see my cut review of 10 different street foods in Mexico City, check out the next video that you're about to see. And also comment down below and let me know, what is your favorite taco? I cannot wait to see you. Nos vemos. Hasta luego.